Week 2 of the 2022 college football season is in the books, and that means it's time to rank the top 25 teams in the nation. I'm Stephen Laston of All CFB 365. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at All CFB 365. Before we get into the actual top 25, just a quick reminder about our rankings. We keep preseason rankings mixed with results as we go through the season. Preseason predictions and rankings will be removed. We will try to honor head-to-head victories the best we can. So keep in mind, we try to blend what we thought in the preseason about all these teams with results on the field so far. As we go forward, a lot of that preseason prediction will be removed, especially once we get later into September. Let's take a look at teams that just missed our top 25 this week. Several teams here could have an argument to be ranked this week. Oregon State, a great last-second victory over Fresno State. Florida State didn't play this week, but two solid victories to start the season for Coach Mike Norvell's team. Air Force also off to a great start, completely dominated Colorado on Saturday. You also have Minnesota, Kansas State, and North Carolina off to a 3-0 start. The Tar Heels, that close victory over Appalachian State, looks a lot better this week after the Mountaineers went on the road and won in College Station. 25 through 21 features some interesting teams here. Cincinnati stays in our rankings at 25 after an easy 63-10 win over Kennesaw State. We just mentioned Appalachian State. The Mountaineers joined the rankings after stunning Texas A&M in College Station. Great win for Sean Clark's team. The Mountaineers check in at 24. Mississippi State very quietly picked up two solid victories to start the season. Beat Memphis in week 1, beat Arizona on the road last night. The Bulldogs jump into our top 25. Penn State also jumps in at number 21 after dominating Ohio on Saturday. The big surprise on the screen, you might see it there, is Texas at 22. Yes, the Longhorns are in our top 25. We're not trying to overrank Texas, but they just gave the number 1 or number 2 team, depending on what you think of Alabama, a close fight in Austin. So let's give Texas some credit. We'll see where this goes. Obviously, they still have a lot to prove, but give the Longhorns credit for a close loss to Alabama on Saturday. Wake Forest headlines the next tier of teams. Welcome back Sam Hartman, a quarterback for the Demon Deacons. He threw 4 touchdown passes in a 20-point win over Vanderbilt. I know a lot of people dropped Oregon out of their rankings after losing to Georgia. I still think the Ducks are a solid team. They pounded Eastern Washington 70-14 on Saturday. Miami checks in at 18. We'll see more about the Hurricanes as we go forward, especially in week 3 as they go to College Station, but a good win over Southern Miss by 23 points on Saturday. Michigan State beat Akron 52-0 on Saturday, a good 2-0 start for Coach Mel Tucker's team, and Oklahoma State a 17-point win over Arizona State on Saturday night. Really like the way Spencer Sanders is playing for the Cowboys right now. The next set of teams features an interesting debate. We have Tennessee jumping to number 11 after a comeback win over Pitt on Saturday. Also, Florida, Utah, and Baylor, NC State make up this range. We thought highly of Utah in the preseason, so we're keeping them in the top 15 for now. And since Florida picked up the head-to-head victory, we're going to keep the Gators at number 12 despite losing to Kentucky on Saturday night. Again, we have a head-to-head victory over a top 15 team. We're going to keep the Gators there. We'll see what happens as we go forward. It's entirely possible that they are overranked at this point, but again, we're trying to react to results on the field as well as maintain some of that preseason prediction that we thought going into this year. So Florida did not play as well in week 2 as they did in week 1, but let's see where they go from here. Also, the Utes looked very good, obviously against an overmatched Southern Utah team. Interested to see where they go from here as well. Kentucky leads the way in our top 10. The Wildcats off to a 2-0 start, picked up the huge win at Florida on Saturday night. Mark Stoops is now the winningest coach in Kentucky school history. BYU beat Baylor in a thriller in overtime on Saturday night. The Cougars jump into our top 10. Also, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and USC round out this tier of teams. USC had the big lead over Stanford. The Cardinal closed it up late. You can see the firepower on USC's offense. Still some things to work on for Lincoln Riley's team, but really like the way that this offense is coming together. Also for Arkansas, 295 yards on the ground against South Carolina. Continue to be impressed by Sam Pittman's team after 2 weeks of the season. Our top 5 stays the same as last week, although the order is different. Georgia takes over the number 1 spot. They had an easy win over Samford on Saturday, but Alabama drops from 1 to 2 due to the close win against Texas. The Crimson Tide clearly have some issues that they need to work on along the line of scrimmage and at receiver. Definitely not counting this team out, but so far this year, Georgia has looked like the better team. Ohio State stays number 3, Michigan at 4. Looks like J.J. McCarthy is going to be the quarterback going forward for the Wolverines. I think that's the right call. He brings more mobility and more big playability to the offense for Michigan. That's it for our top 25 this week. Keep in mind, we try to react to results on the field, keeping some of the big picture Vegas-style power rankings, preseason predictions in there as well. This list will change a lot over the next couple weeks. I'm Steven Lasson of All CFB 365. Please be sure to subscribe. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at All CFB 365. And be sure to leave your top 25 in the comments. Would love to check those out and see how you think the top 25 teams in college football look after 2 weeks of the season.